You'll bet.
I will.
Yeah, maybe not my test.
And now, let's go over the Unit 7 practice test. Number one, we are just plugging and chugging. So when I put in -5 for x, I get 15 plus 5 is 20. When I put in -1, I get 3 plus 5 is 8. When I put in 1, I get -3 plus 5 is 2. And when I put in 7, I get -21 plus 5 is -16. That was worth 1 point. Multiplying and adding, Brian. This means -3x means multiply -3 times x, and then you add 5. Order of operations. Number 2, we are graphing. This is the b or y-intercept. I start at 4. Where do I go from there? Rise 3, run 1. Or I could rise -3, run -1. It has a positive slope. So that's why it has it's a positive line. Or it's a line with a positive slope. There's number 2. Number 3, we start at 3. It is a nice negative slope. So I'm going to rise -3, run 5. Or rise +3, run -5. Connect my points with a ruler. Make sure I have arrows on each end so I don't lose any points. And there it is. Okay. Number 4, select all that are functions. Well, this is a linear equation, and the only line that's not a function is a vertical line. So A is a function. B, is this graph a function? No, because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. C, for the input of -1, we have 2 different outputs, so that's a no. D, for each input, there's 1 output. D is also a function. So that was A and D. If you only put A, you got a half wrong. If you only put D, you got half wrong. If you put A in some other letter, you got half wrong, or D in some other letter, you got half wrong. Number 5, to know if they are ordered pairs that represent a solution, you have to plug and chug. When I plug in 1 for X and 1 for Y, does that work? Does 1 equal -6 minus 7? No. Does -1 equal 6 minus 7? Yes. Does 7 equal 36 minus 7? No. Does -25 equal -18 minus 7? Yes. The answer is B and D. Number 6, same thing as number 5. When I plug in 55, does that work? Does 55 equal 25 plus 30? Yes. Does 80 equal 50 plus 30? Yes. Does 30 equal 0 plus 30? Yes. Does 0... Oh, whoops, that was wrong. Sorry.
How is A? It's like 5.55, that doesn't make sense.
That's a comma. Okay. Does 0 equal... So this one's actually D. This is Y. Does 0 equal 150 plus 30? No. Does 30 equal 0 plus 30? So it is C. A, B, and C. Okay? Number 7. A swimming pool has 40 gallons of water in it. Water is added to the pool at a rate of 6 gallons per second. What is my rate of change? 40. What is my y-intercept? Excuse me, that's wrong. What is my rate of change? 40 gallons, and water is added to the pool. So what am I going to start at? I'm going to start at 40 gallons, and I'm adding 6 gallons per second. Okay? So, B. Number 9. Well, actually, we're just going on the next page. How do I find the slope of a line given 2 points? I use the formula. -4 minus -5 over 3 minus 0. Plus a positive, I get 1/3. C. Number 2. Just think about this as ordered pairs. After 30 seconds, he's 200 feet. And after, sorry, not 30, 10 seconds, it's at 200 feet. 10 seconds, it's 200. And 30 seconds, it's at 1,000 feet. So what is the rate of change? Well, if I do second y minus my first over second x minus my first, I get 800 over 20, which is 40. 40 feet per second. Okay, number 4, slope, rise over run. Those look like points. Okay, let's do 3 first. All right, so how much rainfall, let's see. The question is, how many inches of rain will have fallen after 4 hours? Well, how fast is it going? 75.75 inches per hour. So what's 4 times 0.75? 3. Okay, you could write a rule for that. Number 4, rate of change. -2, +4. Rise -2, run 4. If you have -2 over 4, that reduces to -1/2.
There.
Okay, number 5, rise over run. So if I go to this point and this point, I rise 1, 2, 3, and I run 4. 3 over 4 is 3/4. Easy peas, mac and cheese.
Easy peasy.
Okay, page 2, what is the slope of the line? We're talking about this line right here, 0, fun.
Oh.
What is the slope of this line? Brian was supposed to have learned from that from the quiz.
I know, and that's
Undefined. Okay, what are the slope and y-intercept? Slope is the coefficient of x, the number next to x. Y-intercept is 2. What is the, don't get caught here. What is the slope? -5.6. What is the y-intercept? 6.9. Just because they're in a different order doesn't change things. The coefficient of x is still the slope. The number by itself is still the y-intercept. That'd be worth 1/2 each. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals 1x plus 4, or you could just write y equals x plus 4. Here it'd be y equals coefficient of x, or the slope would be 1/4 x plus a -3/4 or -3/4. I know I'm going kind of fast, but you can go back and watch it at your own pace later because I'm putting it in Google Classroom. Number 12, what is the slope-intercept form of the equation of this line? Well, I need a slope and a y-intercept. What is my slope? Rise 2, run 8. What's 2 over 8? 1/4. So it's 1/4 x. What is my y-intercept? -1, -1. Let's try it again. What is my slope? Rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run 2. What's 6 over 2? 3. Y equals 3x. What's my y-intercept? 1. Piece of cake. Number 14. Lucy is driving to her aunt's house. The table shows the amount of gasoline in Lucy's car after the given hours of driving. Determine the initial amount of gasoline. That means how much she started with. Okay? Well, if I go back, what is the amount she started with? When the time is 0. So if I go back in my table, the table's going up by 3. So if I subtract 3 to get to 0, this is going down by 2. So if I go backwards, I need to add 2. So it's 16 gallons. What is the rate of change? Well, it's going down 2 every 3 hours, right? So the rate of change is -2/3. So that means 2 gallons every 3 hours. -2/3 is the rate of change. Yes, Matthew?
But if you wrote 2 gallons per 3 hours.
I would accept that.
How many points is that worth?
2. 1 for each part. Good question, Brian. All right, moving on. We have 2 vehicles. We have a semi-truck. That's D equals 57T. We have a soccer mom's van. Her equation is D equals 64T. And she's going 64 miles every hour. Identify both y-intercepts. Well, they're both 0. When I put in 0 for T, I get 0 distance, right? It only makes sense. If you have 0 time, you're going to have 0 miles. So they both are 0. Compare their rates of change. Well, the soccer mom goes 7 miles per hour faster. Remember, a comparative statement is faster or slower. You're doing a calculation. Soccer mom goes 7 miles per hour faster. Or you could have said the semi-truck driver goes 7 miles per hour slower. Either one is acceptable.
What if it said it has an entire rate of change?
Nope. I need a specific amount because you have enough information to do that. What rule represents the mom? D equals 64T. Are these proportional? Yes. Why? Because they both go through the origin.
What was that worth?
What else could you have said?
Well, what if you said no because you
Well, you're
it's not
wrong.
the same speed limit?
No, you're wrong. It's not the same speed. One goes 64 miles per hour, one goes 57.
So But like, if he's got forever though.
Is that worth 5?
These are proportional relationships. The question is are they proportional? And the answer is yes, they both go through 0, 0. You also could say, look at this, 192 over 3 equals 128 over 2 equals 64 over 1. What are those all reduced to? 64 over 1. That is the other way you prove they're proportional. If each y over x is proportional. Okay, and then this one, the ordered pair of negative 6y is on line AC. Enter the value of y for this. So let's extend it. Okay, so negative 6, negative 7.
What? I don't get why.
The ordered pair negative 6y is on the line AC. What's line AC? It's AC that you extend. Okay? What is the value of y at negative 6? What's the y coordinate? What's this point right here? Negative 7. Look. Negative 6, negative 7.
So how do we know to put the point in?
Because you extend line AC. So look at this. This is A, this is C, right? That's segment AC. But if I extend it, it's line AC. So I take my ruler, and I extend that. Until it meets negative 6. And then I go down, and I see where it is on the line. Okay? And the next one, Jane and Marcus are running a marathon. Jane runs an average speed of 6 miles per hour. The graph shows the average speed Marcus runs. Compare the rates of change. So Jane is 6 miles per hour. What about Marcus? He is 8 miles per hour. So what could we say about them?
Marcus is C.
C.
Yeah.
Okay, bonus. Slope is -1 minus -4 over 9/8 minus a -1/2. Plus a positive, you get 5 over 9/8 plus 1/2. 9/8 plus 4/8 is 13/8. How do we simplify a complex fraction? 5 divided by 13/8 is the same as 5 times 8/13, which would be 40/13.
Yeah, I got that. How does this work?
28 points, I think.
What was 15 worth? Like 5 points?
Let's go back and see. 15 was worth 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Yep. So that will be on Google Classroom. I will actually have the key available for you too.